because the construction industry is made up of several segments, you need to look at each segment separately. So the first segment is owners, and then the second segment is general contractors. Third segment is subcontractors, and in subcontractors we really have what we call two segments. One is the manufacturers that are part of the subcontractors. They make all the custom stuff that you see that are really attractive, amazing, monuments of the world. That's what those guys do. Whether it's small or big, that's what they do. So to me, there's four major segments in that space. And so let's talk about the first segment first, which is the owners. The owners are really crunched. Property development and major developments have really just crashed with interest rates getting past the 5% mark. In the past, cheap money fueled it, and so they're just dealing with a new reality. That doesn't mean projects have stopped, but it means that all of the fringe guys that were able to take advantage of that interest rate, they've dead stopped almost. And what you're actually seeing on the property development side, the owner side, is that they're obviously continuing the projects they have, but because many of the projects are multi-year, so these started long before interest rates rose or fell or whatever the case might be. But their business is definitely much more selective now, and so they need to know that they're looking at projects that have tighter timelines to get finished, because imagine if you're carrying a $100 million line of credit. Every month that it takes longer to do, you just wasted $100,000 in interest. Like, it's literally like that. So they need to shorten that time frame dramatically. Scheduling and effectiveness on the job really matters. Second is that big money and high-end money still has money. So luxury projects still going on. Lower-end projects, definitely you see a slowdown. So that's the owner segment. In the GC segment, the general contractor segment, totally different animal. The GC segment, you see these guys are working more closely with the big boys now, because now they're flocking to the projects already existing, working like that. And so they're looking to consolidate their position with larger projects. They're not looking for smaller projects that they can run 2 or 3 at a time and put a junior foreman on one site. They can't do that anymore, right? There's just not that lower segment. The middle class of construction projects has kind of been eaten away with the interest rate hike. And so the GCs are really focusing on their larger projects. And of course, they're focusing on managing their subs more tightly on cost progress and cost budgets. They just can't afford the overrun, and they can't afford the timeline overrun. So both segments heavily focused on scheduling. Now you get into the subs, totally different animal. So what's the market scene over there? The subcontractors, what you see there for them is they've been crunched. They have fewer projects to do. So some of the small jobs that were maybe retail led or led by an investor wants to make one small multiplex, a 3-4 level building. Those guys have slowed down, and so the specialty by nature also has slowed down. So what you see there is they're worried about keeping the best people. They're worried about their cost of materials that continues to go up with the supply chain crunches that you see happening around the world. All the geopolitical stuff that affects their supply chain, and so they can't count on their cost being the same cost from the beginning of the quote to the end of the project. But the GC is going to try and hold them to that. So what they need to do is have better cost visibility as they go and see any changes come up. And so they're also bidding with more cost plus type estimating. So they're estimating changes. The subs typically estimate in one of 3 ways: fixed bid, time and materials, or cost plus. So they're moving to either cost plus or time and materials, because otherwise the fixed bid is not gonna the fixed bid is just not gonna be profitable for them. So now everybody actually on both ends needs better systems. One to manage timelines, one to manage the cost side and pass that cost through dynamically to the full project.